We're coming into the late night broadcast. Initially, the 10th of July 2022. The time is just coming up to 11:34 p.m. We're listening to Lucky Dube. I do not own the copyright to the music. It's just for educational purpose. I welcome you as we're coming into the conversation onto the education and enlightenment of the reason why Nigeria must break out and go as it was before 1914. Reason why we want to break out, and I will continue to explain that. What is a nation? Kí là ń pè ní ìlú gangan? Òun la tún fi sọ̀rọ̀ lílárè ní about almost midnight here in London. My name is Olayomi Koiki. A lot of you know the platform as Koiki Media. Solve our problem. Our better ways is now to disintegrate Nigeria peacefully, but we know the Fulanis do not want to go out of the country called Nigeria peacefully. Those of you getting your PVC, you're wasting your bloody time. The agenda to colonize Nigeria, everybody knows that. The senior advocate of Nigeria knows that. The national broadcasting, all the organization, every single person knows the agenda of the Fulanis, but also the agenda of the Western world to keep the indigenous people below par. That is why you will be used as statistics. We must break away from Nigeria. Lucky Dube, I do not own the copyright to the music. Once again, my name is Olayomi Koiki as I welcome you into the conversation once again. If you don't fight it now, nobody is going to fight it for us. We fight it now, and the next generation would not have no reason to go through what we are going through right now. Well, that was Lucky Dube, one out of so many people that have fought the same fight as we are right now. I'm on a live transmission, I'm on a live broadcast. So, sir. All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Thank you, Daddy. Bye, sir. Once again, I welcome us as we continue to educate each other and give all the reasons in this world why we should break away from Nigeria. Some disagree with us, and that is their right as well to disagree that Nigeria should break. But millions of Nigerians will suffer the consequence should we not break away from Nigeria. Good evening to all our Biafra brothers and sisters. Good evening to the Hausas, the Fulanis. Good evening to the Western world. Good evening to the international community. Good evening from wherever you have joined me this particular hour. My name hasn't changed. It is still the same. And I am Olayomi Koiki, known as Koiki Media. A lot of people say it is never going to happen in our lifetime. I said, you don't have to determine that. When the Europeans were coming to enslave and keep us below par, they didn't have to worry too much as a lot of us keep worrying how and when Nigeria will break. But my understanding is that people are waiting for the same people that kept us in this problem to come and also help us to break from Nigeria. A lot of people are waiting for that. They are literally waiting for America, Japan, India. They are waiting for countries around the globe to come and break Nigeria for us. But these are the same countries that knows the issues that Nigeria is not a nation. It is collective of nations. Nation, I will be explaining again tonight. But before we go further, I give praises to the Almighty Creator for giving us the strength, the energy, for empowering us to be able to speak to the international global community. I am not speaking alone to Yoruba people. I'm speaking to the world. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ rò pé bí a ti bá ń sọ òyìnbó, mo fẹ́ yẹ kẹ́ gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ ni. No, I am speaking to the international community because before 2023, most of our videos will probably be trending on CNN, BBC, and Sky News. And there's no doubt in my mind about that because Nigeria will go into a civil war, as the late Dr. Malafia Badia have told us. And we will also have no other option to protect and defend the land. You don't have to believe everything on this platform, but one thing I can assure us is, assure you, like Buhari, dead or alive, is Nigeria is coming to its final straw. Even if the Yorubas or the Biafra do not want to break away from Nigeria, Nigeria itself will disintegrate because there's already disunity, distrust, genocide, humanitarian crisis in Nigeria as we know. So Nigeria is just going through the final straw. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, orílẹ̀-èdè wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fàlẹ́rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Kashisha, 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 kajola. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní ẹ jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ, ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. The presentation will have a lot of English in it tonight, because I'm passing a message. What do we understand by nation?
Nation.
We've seen and talked about different nations around the world with my beautiful map behind me. We had a caller from Sudan, a Yoruba man. I'm not sure what he's doing there, but he's about thousands of miles away from his own soil. Thousands of miles away, Sudan. Let's go and look at Sudan and see the comparison a little bit with Nigeria as it is known today. Sudan. According to what I have here, Sudan, about 43.85 million population, 2020. Sudan, the official Republic of Sudan, is a country in the northeast of Africa. We've been told we are in the west of Africa. The reason why I had to come back again tonight, I had the whole day spent with the family, and I was able to, take a bit of break in between. But that is not the point. I went to the store to pick up water. As you all know, not that the water coming from the tap is not drinkable, but the water I drink in this house with the family is Volvic. Not because I want Volvic, that is what the family wants. The driver that picked me and the wife back home, we had engagement, interaction, and ninu Uber to gbé mi padà wá. I told her I don't drive, not because I cannot afford it, but because it is of no use for me. I have my driver license that is still valid. But for the last 2 years, I just decided it is not worth driving. It is not compulsory to live in this country and drive. You can literally live here and do not drive because it is not necessary. It is not a must. I have my Oyster, as you can see. I don't actually even use the Oyster. I use my bank card to do the tapping when I travel on the network. It is not free, very expensive. But I can assure you that this is my license, as you can see there. That's my driver license, okay? And it doesn't expire, if I look at these, until 2028. This license, the one that me, driver license me, will expire until 2028, as long as I'm alive. That means we are in 2022. That's about 6 years' time. So those of you at home that we are telling that we should break away from Nigeria, I can live here and enjoy my life. I can live in this country for the next 6 years. Timbati koja yarami, as I'm doing right now. Timbati fa ìjọ̀gbọ̀n. Timbati ru òfin ìlú. I can go around the world as my map is telling me, because the world is so big, massive. I can move from point A to B. If I need to apply for some, maybe documents, like some countries, I will get access to travel. I can ask anybody, based on the little thing I've done on Yoruba Nation, to just give me a letter to pay a visit to America, Japan, and I will get those letters. That means I can live outside my own land, known as Yoruba land, for the next 6 years. I can literally live away from coming home. I'm not going to miss anything. Mo lè jókòó síbí báyìí if I have a bit of the money and I can get anything. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gun Yawa Gbémilékè, if you go and speak against me anywhere, that woman will come after you. There's no doubt about it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I welcome everyone as we're all joining. Màá sọ Yorùbá náà láàrin broadcasting, but permit me to speak a lot of English because I'm communicating my message tonight to different people. Thank you so much, Yawa Gbémilékè. And I can see all our grandmas. I'd like to appreciate a particular room known as GR1. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that. Don't ask me any details about that room. It's just a small room. I'd like to appreciate our father, Professor Banja Kitoye, before I go into the broadcast again this evening. Mafi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn dáadáa. And his deputy, Professor Wale Adeniran. And all the fathers, mothers, and the two professors, their wives are still alive. So we literally don't even remember them. Just as a lot of you don't know what our wives, Omoluka's wives, Baba Ikiti wife, Baba Gbagedemon's wife, Baba Rupo, Dr. Aliu, and those that are women as well, their husband, our Henry all the time. But you don't even know what the family behind has to sustain. I've literally had to ask my wife to pause the TV. She was watching something. I had to tell her I'm going live. That means I've inconvenienced her. She can go upstairs because we have a TV that has the same facility, the YouTube. But the children are already in bed, they school tomorrow. So I've literally inconvenienced her for me to come and talk to you. And you think that if I don't do this, I will not have a better life. We are just concerned about those of you at home. That's all. Not concerned about you. Our Gola team are concerned about our Tawanita. And I'll tell you why, based on what the driver to be one, she's Somali ni abi. Somali ni driver. Okay. What the Somali driver told me that I would like to share with us, especially our Tawanita. I would like to appreciate again Professor Banja Akintoye, 87 years old, that is so much dedicated, that believe that kí ìran Yorùbá lè ní àlàáfíà lọ́jọ́ iwájú, it is best option to break away from Nigeria. I'd like to appreciate Professor Pa Ayo Adebanjo. We might not agree with their views as restructuring, but is bold enough to confront Buhari and say it the way it is, as against some idiot politicians that do not have the balls. And I like to appreciate them. I like to appreciate my own. I spoke with him. Apparently, I missed his call while I was taking my nap. I do have a lot of sleep. Maybe some of you think I don't sleep. I sleep most times during the day. So I missed his call. And I woke up around 7. And I returned that call back. And we had about a quick few chats. It is personal. I'm talking about Igboho. Very highly intelligent man. Some of you say, maybe problem. I think so many people still believe that, is it? But I tell you that this man that you're looking at in there, the time I spent with him, I tend to wonder, what is he looking for in this Yoruba nation? What actually is he looking for? 1 million Fulani Daduro. And we saw that already when they invaded his house to kill him. Some say he ran away. That's probably what you think. But the amount of àwọn tó lọ ká Ìgbòho mọ́lé tó bá lọ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ lòmíì wọ́n máa pa sínú ilé ni. And that means his words stand that 1 million Fulani kò lè dáhùn dúró kó pàrún àfi tí àsìkò Ọlọ́run bá tó. Do you know how many people, as we're speaking right now, that are being walked into the forest, raped, killed? Have you seen the family of that pastor or reverend? 2 boys killed. Daughter has now been released, probably what soon, what is a ransom. The family is going into a mourning. One shikun lower by. But everybody is thinking that we are just online and we probably don't even, don't know what we want. What do we want is just, we want this.
Nation.
We just want our nation back. That's all we want, without no problem. It is possible to do that, but everybody is hoping and praying that it will just come to us like that. but ọlọ́gbọ́n ló máa jókòó ló máa review ẹ̀ pé it is not going to happen like that. Àdúrà nìkan kọ́ ló máa ṣe ń tọ́wà ńlẹ̀ yìí. We can pray from now till thy kingdom come. The prayer has been answered. How do we activate the prayer is also the stage that we are right now. Báwo la ṣe fi make sure pé àdúrà tá à ń ṣe lọ́sàn-án lóru, ètùtù tá à ń gbé, yes, we have to. A gbọ́dọ̀ gbé àwọn ètùtù kan ti ìbílẹ̀, a gbọ́dọ̀ lọ sínú àwọn ẹ̀mí kan gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ti Kristẹni. Àwọn àdúrà kan gbọ́dọ̀ wà tó gbọ́dọ̀ wọnú ilé Àlùwà. The fight is not physical, it is more of spiritual. The fight tá wà nínú ẹ̀ so that we can get back nation, reclaim back our kingdom. The Western world knows everything that we are talking about from the beginning to the end because they have enough information about the Yoruba kingdom. Tọ́bánẹ́ tó ní archives, Jùdágbáyé, Great Britain, you cannot beat them on that. You cannot beat the amount of information that has now also been upgraded into the system so that should in case the document that they keep in their records probably get burnt or whatever happened, they've now uploaded them. Scan, I'm not talking about, they've actually scanned documents and upload them. I'm talking about the British government. This is a job that some people do. It's called confidential jobs. You will see it, but you will not be able to take anything out. You will not be allowed to even take your phone, not for any. They will scan you before you go in. You can only just take it in your head. But if you say it, they are called classified information. They could kill you for that, or you could be fined and go to prison. If you know what I'm talking about. So, gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ afẹ́gbà Yoruba kingdom wá padà and reclaiming is something that is already in the hands of the British government. Just the same way the Biafrans are requesting the breakup and even the North. But their own agenda is to just keep Nigeria together whether we like it or not. Àwa la máa wá jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé we don't like it. We are not happy with that. It doesn't favor us. Why is it difficult for Britain to do business directly with the Yoruba nation as is Nigeria? Why is it difficult for Britain to have relationship with the Biafra nation, the Hausa nation, the Edo nation, even all the smaller nations? Britain has representatives in smaller countries around the world, and they are engaging, they're doing business with them. So, problem a relationship between Britain and Yoruba nation, but they don't want that. They are more happy that Nigeria remain as it is and pretend as if there was never a kingdom before. Not that they don't know. One more. Yoruba nation now, Yoruba nation now. Britain has the archives already. So what we are doing is to force them to accept the reclaim back of the land. And if they don't, we will do whatever we can. I don't want to be using, the word that people want me to use, but I will say peacefully. But everybody knows that it is not going to be peaceful. Because if the British government is pretending as if we are not there, because some people say we need about millions of people to go and protest in front of the parliament before they see us. Are you serious? You think that the British government do not know everything that is happening in this country? Even if they don't know, they are intelligent, monitors everything, because there are some phrases, there are some things that you say that goes on to whether you're... I was literally watching ways of protecting the presidency especially American president. Ǹjẹ́ mọ̀ pé ink, how many people knows that? That the ink that I've just used to print something in my house right now, they can detect the company. If you send a letter to the American president, and the moment I mention American president now, there's something filtering through. They want to know what I want to talk about. Do you know that if I send a letter to the American president, they can literally tell the ink that came out from my printer, níbo ni mo ti rà, company will manufacture. How many people knows that? Be honest. Èèyàn mélòó ló mọ̀? That ink tó wà nínú printer mi, if I sent a letter to maybe even Boris Johnson or they can literally trace it back up to the company that sold it. That is how far technology is today. My head was blown away when I saw that. I didn't know. Ink tó kọ print jáde, they can scan that letter and tell you the ink that you use and the company that sold it to me. So what is it that everybody is now making it look like the British government does not understand what we are saying? They understand it. What happened in Sri Lanka will soon happen in location 9. Watch out, Yoruba nation is no longer going back. We must continue. Thank you so much, Moses Abe, for the super chat. Britain, gbogbo wàhálà tá à ń ṣe, they have all the records that they can pull out and just tell us. So when I tell you that dead or alive Buhari, don't be surprised that you could be having an imposter out there based on the technology that is. So it is, I understand that some of you back home, that's our president. We saw him in Daura moving around. The technology today, the technology today, the technology today, the technology today, you don't know what it can do. And I was speaking to somebody from Abeokuta today, just like everybody's concerned. There's a particular audio about a soldier that I actually was the one that released that audio because it was sent to me by one of our Biafra brothers. I'm sure, and Talib Tigbo voicing. If you have not heard that voice, you don't have to believe the voice, but just also ask yourself that if it is true in 10 years or in a voice, if you have not listened to the voice, you better go and look for it. It's not a long one. I released that, I sent the voice out just about some 3-4 hours ago. It is now circulating. If you have not listened to that voice, ask somebody now to send it to you. You will shiver. If what, I don't want to agree that it is true, and just, just have it at the back of the mind that it might not be true, just, okay, that's fine. But just think about it. If you have not listened to the voice, ask somebody to send it to you now. It is deep, what the person was saying. I want to go back again and appreciate everybody that is working flat to get the message out. Hey, it is by the Tigboin. It's because the British government do not want you to know everything that we are talking now. They don't want millions of Nigerians to know that. If the British government allow every Nigerians to know what we are saying now, Nigeria will collapse in just under 30 minutes. Especially, we want them to tell us the person in Asurok. That's all I'm just going to say. That's all. Nothing more than that. I just want them to tell us if they have any information about the person in Asurok. That's all. If they have any information, I have not said whether the person is dead or is alive, but if they have any information about the person in Asurok, I'm talking to the British government, and I leave it like that. But like I said again, printer tó wà nílé mi tí mo fi ń print nǹkan jáde, if I send it to high places, they can scan it and go back again and detect even the date of the manufacturing of the ink. That is how powerful technology is. If you have not listened to that voice, try and look for it. I beg you. But have it at the back of your mind that it could be true and it could be false. If it's false, we don't have to be worried. Abi, I need that you are concerned. Anybody call it voice, blah 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 blah, could they post it? But if it is true, there's danger ahead. Like I've said 2 years ago. Let me now say what the driver that picked me and the wife back home from the store that Iloshe shopping. We were just engaging. He's a very highly intelligent man. He advised me to drink at least 3 liters of water every day, especially when you wake up in the morning. Not that I don't know that, we're just talking. He said because he says women need about 4 liters, but our only need 3 liters. He said a lot of Africans don't drink a lot of water. And that's why, and this also health advice for everybody. So you're benefiting from what I benefited from the man. Not that we don't know, I rather want to take a juice than take a water. Sometimes maybe we should think about it. Instead of that juice, should we take a water? Especially those of you in Nigeria. Not that I know about it, but you don't even have the good health care because the system in Nigeria is so poor. So you have to make sure that until we grab and take back and reclaim back, that we can start filtering all the waters, sanitation, cleanliness, making sure that, yes, if you want to sell on the side road, we want to make sure that you have a food and hygiene certificate, not just be selling puff-puff, or flour. Most often, ẹ lọ sórí Linda Ikeji, àwọn kan ra isi and there was millipede inside. Only God knows how many people have chopped in that restaurant. That restaurant should be completely shut down. But it's Nigeria. Nothing is going to happen. That's it. They probably apologize to the guest and everybody walks away. Tomorrow that restaurant will open. But if it was this country, they will first have to lock that restaurant. Somebody will be paying heavy fine. Restaurant kan wà ní Leytonstone. I'm sure a lot of Nigerians I think they finally closed it down. It's a Nigerian restaurant. Bí ó ṣì rò pé òun rò pé òun wà Nigeria. The kitchen, there's rats all over the place. They lock it up. Kíní kan Lagos Island. Ó wà ní Leytonstone. I can't remember the full name now, but I read it in the paper. Because they're still operating as if they're in Nigeria. What you are in Nigeria? You are now living in a Western world. The Somalian driver told me something that I was now asking myself, what a money boy in soy. He said, this country, in another 7 years, we should prepare for a worst case scenario. And I was like, what? Not that I didn't have an idea looking at situation of things. It says we should be getting ready, especially us, our body, to go back to our own base. Wọ́n wò lọ́kàn mi pé àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ nílùú ta fẹ́ lọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn ìyá wa, bàbá wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, àbúrò, people want to go back home. We don't have a home to go back to. And this man is now telling me that in another 7 years, if we do not all prepare to go, we can end up become a bigger slaves because things are changing. Inflation is happening, and there's still tendency for World War III. Some of you are not following that anymore. There's a lot of mobilization going on between America, Russia, and the Western world. A lot is going on in the borderline. 60,000 American soldiers are now stationed close to the borders. Very good evening to my mother. I just spot her. Welcome on board. I just keep missing her call, But she will I miss her. I'll probably call her when I finish the broadcast. I borrow me anything. The guy was telling me that 7 years from now, from today, yesterday, because we're now on the 11th, that if we do not go back home, things could be changing in this country. This particular country also. I was like, wow, okay, interesting. But I won't later I feel about anything because the house that we want to go back to, because if it's saying 7 years from now and we allow the same Tinubu and Shetima, the Boko Haram leader, to become the president or the vice president, or Atiku, the criminal, or Peter Obi, that means the chances of me going back home in that 7 years is going to be very slim because each one of them will want to spend 8 years and I'll probably be 52. Seven years now, the guy said we should all be prepared to move. So, ìbéèrè wa ni nísìnyí pé how do we move when ibi táwa fi move sí gan that has everything? The guy was saying that you will not literally even need any penny. You would have to move so that you can save your lives. Only Benny. Which is often meaning, we're not speaking Yoruba, but we're speaking in English. His views when I talk about the Fulanese, I was not really balanced with that because he's a Muslim. So he was saying something that I was not comfortable with. And what he said was, oh, they are our brothers. I don't know what he means by that because he says it is the Western world that literally lock us all together as called Africans, that it was all an open border, during those era. I probably have to go and do more research on that to find out what he said. But I told him that we're having issues with the Fulanese that are killing us. No, you don't say I want to read that comment from AK. Mr. Koiki, let your target on disintegration not be beyond 2020. It's not Koiki, it's about every one of us. It's not about me. The target should be for everybody, not Koiki. Koiki, don't let your target be more than beyond. What about you? What about you? Why me? It's about every one of us, including me, including Biafra. Because if not, we don't have a home to go back to. And where we are right now, there's danger. According to what it doesn't have to be fact anyway, but we can all feel it. We can see it. It's happening around us, only if we are pretending. We talked about food, and he says, when I was like, when we talk about food, the guy he knows a lot. You can tell he's very highly intelligent. When I said, the food that we eat, and he says those in Nigeria are eating a better food. We know that there's poverty in Nigeria, but fresh. genetic food làwa ń jẹ nílùú yìí. Ẹ̀mọ̀ tán ta ló mọ̀ tán pè ní genetic food. How many people èyí dẹ̀ wọ́n lè máa mọ̀ tá à ń jẹ níbi ẹ̀ wá bọ̀bọ̀ ìkàn dán ní iṣẹ́ lójoojúmọ́ lórí social media. We are not eating fresh food, frozen food, and not just frozen food. Wọ́n pe kíní kan ní genetic. Mo mọ bí ṣe fi ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ ní Yorùbá fáwọn èèyàn. Oh, okay. You talk about 7 years that promoted my comment. Okay. Kí la máa pe genetic food? Oh yes, the Somalian guy has the inside knowledge. No, kí la máa pe lédè Yorùbá? GMO. Yeah, no, but I want to explain it in a way that people can understand it. The food, ṣẹ́rí wọn oúnjẹ táwọn ń jẹ yẹn, àwọn chicken nǹkan kan yẹn, it's like they are pumping something into it that doesn't make it fresh. But those at home, he also talked about the route that he says he came here 30 years ago. 30 years ago, European nations are sending weapons to Ukraine. They're not just weapons, they're sending heavy artillery. Russia just blew up some of the Americans' tanks. There's a guy called Ikechukwu or something. I think he's a Biafra guy or Igbo guy or whatever, he's on Twitter. I follow him a lot. Don't get me wrong, the view between Russia and Ukraine is not my concern. But we should look at the way things would, whether it will escalate to the extent that it might affect everybody. It's already affecting us. We know that, things are becoming more expensive. The guy is called something Chuku. I can't remember his full name. He also has a YouTube channel. And I do listen to him a lot. I'm not sure whether I retweeted his message. If I did, it will be on my timeline. Because I do a lot of tweets. A lot of people don't tweet. Only the Biafra tweet a lot. People don't even follow people on Twitter. And you don't even know the power of tweeting. But the Biafrans have literally hold on to the tweets. I'm not sure whether I retweeted him. But maybe somebody among... Joseph. Yes, you're right. That's it. Joseph Chuku. God bless you. This is my brother. Joseph. Something... Yeah, that's in there. Joseph Okechukwu. Go and follow him. Don't get me wrong. The fight between Russia and Ukraine no be our own problem, but it will affect every single one of us. He posted again 4 hours ago. Britain's emergency transfer of about 50 British Challenge 2 tanks. We're not taking calls, so I don't know why people are calling. We're not back calling, saying. And I'm charging one of the phone. That's why I'm using this phone to go live. And the caller has interrupted it. Well, not to charge it late, so I'm actually charging it just 11%. Please do not interrupt yet. I always allow people to call, but I'm doing my presentation now. If you call, you're already distracting the broadcast. And I'm live because, nobody can say they don't know I'm live. It's not like I'm on WhatsApp that you can see that I'm online 2 minutes ago. So whoever is calling, please do not call yet. Because my take be conversation, presentation with David Timofey. The reason why I'm going to be stressing more on the genetic, going back to oúnjẹ tí kò léwu lágbára oúnjẹ àgbálẹ̀rọ̀. Genetic food. Just to brief on that, I don't want to go too much in this between Ukraine, but it's concerned for everybody. Okay, so even if you say you don't want to go into it, we're not siding anybody. Don't get me wrong. We are just neutral. We're not siding anybody. So Britain have transferred about 50 British Challenger 2 tanks to the Polish border with Ukraine happening now. NATO reportedly in heightened state of alert as Russia destroyed over 1,000 US-made M777 artillery shells and about 700 grade MLRS with 100 personnel dead. The war can escalate at any time. But our own nílé feel missing because we don't have a house to go to. We've literally now in between. GM food is oúnjẹ àgbélẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé tí kò ní àwọn èròjà aṣaralóore bí oúnjẹ àbáláyé. Thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. We'll try díẹ̀ lórí Yorùbá yẹn. We are eating genetic food abroad. And that's why people have to go to do exercise to burn these things out. Because the longer to ban lára kò dá. And that's why there's cancer, there's all kind of things happening. People die at 40, 50, and back home. If we have a place called home, longer lives. Yes, sometimes our body and there, Sherry, the reason why home is now like, I tell you people look like they are sick and they are literally not sick is because before but enough and there's not enough nutrients. I watch a lot of documentary. I'm not going to play all this documentary again. My other video yesterday was blocked, but we've been able to carve out the documentary in this. Documentary. I watched a documentary about a country that literally do not have, they used to be rich. I can see if I can find the name. Just going through my archives. But I'm not going to play anything there. You can go and watch it yourself if you have enough history. Those of you outside. Lucky debate mo play anything. Yeah, mo ṣe play ní the beginning. So that any kayo kuro asheyo. Mo feel like so I can't remember the name of the country, but they are so rich now that they don't have any more money, and they are fat because they don't have enough vegetables. They don't know how to grow even vegetables. So I don't think people understand that it is a deliberate act, not to allow us to flourish. It's a deliberate act. Some will say, but the British have left us. Why are we more concerned about the British? They are not the issues. They are still part of the issue. Because they have the archives that carve us out of Nigeria. Carve us out of Yoruba Kingdom to become Nigeria. It was the British that did so. So what is it making it difficult for them to say, okay, as things are, it doesn't seem this unity is there. We will work with each of you. Let Hausa have their embassy. Let the Biafra have their embassy. Let the Yoruba have their embassy. And there will be relationship among every one of us. But rather, British still wants to control using one high commissioner against 200 million people. It cannot work. Can it work? And this is where there's a confrontation that is now creating none of the politicians can fix this problem. People think politicians will come and fix this problem. It will become a compounding problem. Tá a bá resolve ẹ̀ nísìn tó ṣì máa wá bite gbogbo wa padà lọ́jọ́ iwájú. And I've just told you that I can live here just as so many people that have the means to have left the country without even looking back. I was out of Nigeria for 14 years. I don't think I missed anything because only the guy wá fún mi. Tí bá fẹ́ this, tí bá fẹ́ that. And it can still happen. I don't have to go back to look. You think if I don't come to Nigeria, I'm going to miss anything? What am I going to miss? Tell me. Yes, and you learn my lara and you learn kankan. And then, but àwọn wo ṣé bó ṣe láti rí nìyẹn as against those that are saying we should go and play politics and keep the name Nigeria. Why must we keep the name Nigeria instead of us going back to extract, reclaim back our kingdom where we were before the British came? Báwo ni ẹ ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ìjà? I don't think that should be a fight. There should not even be any reason for us to fight on that among ourselves. But those that are meant to be the big sayer, àwọn tó yẹ kó ní ẹnu ọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìtànfàì, is this country, and they've kept mute. The people that have the big say. So when some people say it has nothing to do with British, they have given us independence, they have allowed us to do what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. I say, no. It's not easy talking. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. Àwọn tó yẹ kó make a journey as simple as, look, all they will just say is, look, guys, come back here. Instead of them calling Peter up, they will just call every one of them and say, look, this situation is not going to work. And if those politicians don't want to listen, they just release the archive to the public domain. And then the surutu will start. But what they are doing now, Britain is trying to be smart. We will come and do observation for election. We will not give them visa to come to abroad. Nonsense. That is not what we need now. All this one, they are saying that if they rig election, we will not even tell you the name of the people that we are not going to allow to come. What is that nonsense that they're telling us in 21st century? As if we are stupid. Those at home can be stupid. People like us have lived with Britain or the British for 20-something years. So I am not stupid, okay? So Eile was stupid for them to tell you, go and vote. You're right. You're right. It's the PVC. What do you mean they're right? Let them give us the right document, which is our PVC of how they divide the country to what is now called Nigeria. That is the responsibility of the British government. That is what they should be bringing out in their archive. They have those information. It's somewhere in this country. They don't take it anywhere. It's somewhere in this country, somewhere maybe hidden on the ground somewhere. They have it. Each country that they colonize, they have all the archives. Let them give us the archives. But idiot Nigerians, and I don't have regret to use that word. Oh, is it because they are Alawo Funfun? You are mad. You are mad. I have lived there with them for 20 years plus. And they have no right láti sọ ẹ̀tọ́ mi fún mi mọ́. If the British High Commission is still telling you that your right is PVC, tell them to give you the right that they removed as the indigenous people. That is the first thing that they should be discussing with us. Ẹ̀tọ́ wa tí wọ́n gbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa, whether our forefathers, torí wọn pé, that colluded with the British and allowed that to happen in the first place or not. That should be the first right before the British can talk about we should keep one Nigeria. If not, Kasala go bust at some point. You will be the one to come out and demand your right as an indigenous people. Forget about all these, the 1999, all those ones is just the parabolating, the real deal is we want to go back and reclaim our main right as a Yoruba kingdom, Oduduwa Republic, or Yoruba nation. That is the first responsibility that we should all be talking about. All these 1999 constitution, Titi is no good, water no good. No. Let us first claim back our right. Then we can then activate and rework and fix all these issues that we are talking, that are the, somebody could and say, what is the civil servant that they want to believe in Yoruba nation? At the moment, the civil servant do not have any right or any say in Nigeria. So let the civil servant first let us activate our kingdom back. They will then know that they have a right. Ìgbà yẹn làwọn kan máa mọ̀ pé àwọn ní right, because àyè tẹ̀ sọ pé agbèrò ní jẹ́ ká lọ. Agbèrò ò ní right nínú Nigeria because he has been locked in Nigeria that doesn't have a right. Give me somebody else. Give me anything you want to talk about. Àwọn kan ní ẹni bò là ń lọ. We are not going anywhere. We are literally being kept in a fraudulent country called Nigeria that was manufactured by British or Britain government and the Royal Majesty, the Queen. Some people don't mention her name. I say, what do you mean by that? God bless her. They are the one that engineered this through the governor administrator of the time, known as Lugard in 1914. And it was not Lugard that started the project. Somebody started it before Lugard. So what is it difficult now for us to tell the British government, give us the real document that you have, that you believe was put together, and if there's not any document, then dissolve that shit or union. Dissolve it. It doesn't take long before we get a passport. It doesn't take long before everything starts changing. The first thing that will change is we will start using our own language, that is the Yoruba language that the British met when they came to our land for the last thousands of years that they were doing slave trade. What is difficult about that? Not all the documents will be available for the public consumption. There will be some known as classified. There will be some that will be available. There's no doubt about that. The majority of it are classified. And the classified comes out, this country can even go on fire. And more than classified, they don't allow that to come out. Probably maybe when London Bridge goes down, some few things will pop up. That's just my belief. Now let's again explain to our people tonight. Kí là ń pè ní orílẹ̀-èdè? I don't have any issues with Tinubu, and I've been honest. I don't have any problem with him. I don't have any problem with Atiku, Peter Obi, Sowore, Kwankwaso. But I will have problem with them as they continue to say we should stick to one Nigeria. Because one Nigeria is the fraud that was manufactured by the Western world to keep you out of who you are as Ọmọ Orílẹ̀-èdè kan. Because today, you are not even a Nigerian. Imagine somebody say is in Sudan and he cannot even use a Nigerian document. He has to use a South African document to live in Sudan. I'm sure some of you are living in different countries around the world like that. You rather not use Nigerian documents because it's not have no value. It's not have no usefulness. If you really want to live in some countries, you just have to pretend that you're not Nigerians. So, it's not about because or anything. We're talking about our identity. To yẹ kó máa flourish, tó yẹ kó máa fi respect wa, ká máa sọ èdè sí wọn, kó máa wá ìtumọ̀ ẹ̀ fúnra wọn. Òun láti gbé dànù báyìí. But some are saying that come back. Ẹ má bínú ìtẹ́ wà lórí YouTube. I actually touched something and it had a bit of impact. Somebody said we can take them to the court. I think that was what Ilana UK wanted to do. It was expensive. It's not cheap. Yeah, the video got frozen because I touched the phone. I should have used another phone to do what I wanted to do, but it might be no. Because I noticed it myself on my TV was frozen. But it's back now. I say good evening once again, good morning, good night, depending on the globe you're watching from. So, a nation is a community of people formed on the basis of combination of shared features, such as our language. Èdè tí mò ń sọ, ó yàtọ̀ sí èdè ọmọ Ìgbò, ó yàtọ̀ sí èdè àwọn tó kù tájọ wà ní orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí ó jẹ́ fake tó ń pè ní Nigeria. Because Nigeria ò kì í ṣe orílẹ̀-èdè. It's not a nation. And when you look at the general terms of even United Nations, it is back. There's nothing wrong with the YouTube. It is back on again. I actually touched the phone and that was why it got frozen. It's back. Our culture. Not that I don't like Hausa culture, but I just don't want to be part of a country known as Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, and they call it Nigeria, knowing that that is a fake that was manufactured, engineered by the Western world, which is this country called Great Britain in 1914. Again, territory. Àwọn kan béèrè pé we should not be using the word afẹ́kúrò ní Nigeria because people are confused are like níbo la wá ń lọ, where are we going? Let me make this analysis properly again. We're not going anywhere. Ibi tó kọ́lé sí yẹn náà ní state ní Kwara, Kogi, Ọ̀ṣun, Ondo, Èkìtì, Ọ̀yọ́, Lagos and Ogun State. Territory wa là ń pè níbẹ̀ yẹn. A ó pè mo understand gbogbo tí mo sọ. Ṣé rí ibi tí o wà nísìn bóyá ọmọ Ondo ni ẹ́ bọ̀ iṣẹ́ gbé ẹ lọ sí Èkó lọ hustle lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, everybody náà ló máa hustle. Tó bá yẹ pé Ondo ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni tendency pé o tẹ̀lé máa dé kò bí ọkọ̀ lọ fún sightseeing àbúkọ̀ gba Èkó lọ ṣe. So the only major thing tó fẹ́ change tí a fẹ́ change nínú ìrìn àjò yìí òun ni pé a fẹ́ jẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. That's the only major thing tó máa change. Orúkọ yẹn à ní jẹ́ orúkọ yẹn mọ́. Àwọn kan ní ẹ̀ka má jẹ́ Yorùbá nation, àwọn kan náà wọ́n láìkó orí olókun ṣẹ́rí gbogbo yẹn. We can deal with those issues. Internal problem nìyẹn nígbà tá a bá ti dá dúró tán. It can go on a public consensus. I'm a decide gbogbo wa. Ṣàfẹ́ orí olókun àfẹ́ majority carry the vote. Ṣàfẹ́ passport yà bá àfẹ́ majority carry the vote. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe constitution gbogbo wa la máa decide. Those are internal issues. But in tó fẹ́ yàtọ̀ ni pé territory wa ẹ̀mọ̀ tó ń pè ní territory boundary wa ní gbogbo ẹ̀ka from ṣé jẹ́bàlẹ̀ máa ń pè wá sísàlẹ̀ in tó ń pè ní public pole in tó ń pè ní territory nìyẹn. I'm just giving us the definition of
nation.
Orílẹ̀-èdè as against the fraudulent country where your life has been mortgaged, nobody respects you, there's no human right. It's because they forced everything together, called Nigeria, and they did not concern about the issues to mama arise lábẹ́. Oh yes, people tried, they were doing politics, they say regional government, they say the Igbo people destroy regional government. Let's agree. But the main point of the issue is the British created that mess. And it is not too late for them. If not, calamity will befall on them as well if they do not do the needful. Wọ́n ní kò dáa kí òrùngbẹ máa gbẹ̀yàn kíyàn tó mu omi. Water is meant to be in the body all the time. Ẹ̀rí pé mo ti wà very tasty, which is very bad. That shows that I don't drink a lot of water myself. Territory. Ààlà, okay. Wọ́n ti bá mi ṣe Yorùbá translation ẹ̀. Ààlà. So kò ń ṣe pé tábà náà fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà yẹn pé à ń kó gbogbo yín lọ sí Benin Republic àbí Ghana. No. Ààlà wa náà la ṣe wà. Agbègbè wa, àwọn àbá wa la wà. Kò sí development níbẹ̀, gbogbo yẹn ọ̀tọ̀ níṣẹ́ yẹn. Àwọn iṣẹ́ ebi ń pa wá o, àlàáfíà ò sí o, ìdáàbòbò sí o, kò sáàbò, kò sí ilé ìwòsàn, ṣẹ́rí gbogbo yẹn àwa la máa ṣe yẹn fúnra wa, gbogbo wa. But in tó jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ níbẹ̀, ìjáyà my brother, welcome on board. In tó jẹ́ gbòógì àkọ́kọ́ tó jẹ́ the main thing ni pé ààlà wa, territory wa, òun la fẹ́ gbà padà. Because territory yẹn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí kò sí ní ọwọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, ọwọ́ Fúlàní ló wà, màá dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé fún yín. Ṣé rí gbogbo nǹkan mìíràn tó wà ní orí ilẹ̀ wa, nǹkan adùn, resources, àwọn gómìnà yóò ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti tọwọ́ bọ̀ fún development ẹ̀yin. Lèbi ṣe ń pa yín, nìyà ṣe ń jẹ yín, ló dàbí ìgbà tó yẹ pé tí ẹ báyìí tí ì lọ sí ibi tí wọ́n ti máa ṣàdúrà fún yín, ẹ máa ṣoríire. No, kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Gọ́vnà yín láti Abdulfatai ti Kwara State, láti ti Yaya Bello Kogi State, láti ti Akérédolú Ondo State, láti ti moment tó ṣẹ̀wà níbẹ̀ nísìnyí Sọ̀mákọ̀ ló Fáyẹmí ti Èkìtì State, Oyètọ́lá Ọ̀ṣun State, Ṣèyí Mákindé Ọ̀yọ́ State, Abíọ́dún Ọmọléfọ̀ Ogun State, Sanwó-Olú. Àwọn gómìnà yẹn ò ní ẹ̀tọ́ lórí ààlà ilẹ̀ bàbá wa, bàbá ńlá wa tí àwọn òyìnbó lórí burúkú tó gbà lọ́wọ́ wa tó pè ní Nàìjíríà. Ó wá gbé ààlà yẹn, territory yẹn, wọ́n gbélé Haúsá lọ́wọ́. Haúsá ṣẹ̀ wá máa make a decision lórí ayé tèmi àti ìwọ tí àwọn gómìnà yẹn ò lè tọwọ́ bọ̀bẹ̀. In tá à ń fight fún nìyẹn o. A fẹ́ gba territory yẹn padà. Tá bá dẹ̀ gba territory yẹn padà, kò gbọdọ̀ jẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́, nítorí pé kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà before 1914. Yorùbá là ń jẹ́, ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ń pè é, àbí ilẹ̀ Odùduwà, ilẹ̀ òmìnira, whatever tẹ́ bá fi pè é, bọ̀ kò kí ń ṣe Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo àwọn tó bí ní 1900 títí di 1914 tó fi ṣe amalgamation nìyẹn, wọ́n ń pè wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà. Ìbòdè, wọ́n tún ní a lè lo ìbòdè. So orúkọ ló máa yàtọ̀. A máa yọ gbogbo tó bá ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà kúrò nínú ayé wa. Àwa máa pè ní orílẹ̀-èdè tí a fẹ́ pè é. Kò bá jẹ́ Yorùbá nation, Odùduwà republic, it doesn't matter. Àwọn bá mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, nípa pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ti ń bẹ tẹ́lẹ̀, àmọ́ gbogbo bí gbogbo àṣẹ máa ń sọ ìjẹkújẹ, ìjẹ ìyà, ìjẹ wèrè, ìjẹ olè, ìjẹ wọ̀bìyà táwọn ń jẹ kò fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn mú ọwọ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Kò dẹ́ ṣe gbogbo wọn ló ń gbádùn. Èmi dé àwọn palace àwọn ọba kan, wọn ò ní iná. Ó yẹ kíyàn máa wọ palace ọba kó tútù mú ẹni, kẹ́ condition máa ṣiṣẹ́, but wọn ò ní iná nínú àwọn palace yẹn, nínú ibodè wọn náà wọ̀ lálàáfíà. Ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ pé tí a bá ti gba ilẹ̀ yẹn padà, because ilẹ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí nísìn kò sí ní ọwọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ olùdarí wa, àwọn tó ń darí wa lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn, ilẹ̀ yẹn ò sí lọ́wọ́ wọn mọ́. Ó wà àṣẹ ilẹ̀ yẹn, Ọlọ́run gbáláyé mi, àṣẹ tó wà lórí ilẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ lo ilẹ̀ yẹn fún kankan, wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ lọ bá Sultan of Sokoto. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ lọ gba àyè. wọ́n kò lè lọ gbé investors wá nísìnyí kan ní agbègbè Ìbàdàn yìí a rí nǹkan mìíràn àwa fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí extracted tó máa wúlò fún aráàlú so that development adé sádùúgbò yẹn gbogbo agbègbè yẹn á máa níṣẹ́ iná á wà nǹkan kan àní ẹ̀tọ́ sí. Ìdí ni pé wọ́n ti kó wa papọ̀ mọ́ ìlú kan tó ń pè ní Nàìjíríà and everybody knows that. Gbogbo àwọn influencers yìí wọ́n mọ̀, àwọn actor mọ̀, àwọn actresses mọ̀, everybody knows that. But ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe feel pé bí a lè manage it. But even if Nigeria was working does not even mean that pé a ní ẹ̀tọ́ láti béèrè tá à ń béèrè yìí. Even if Nigeria was working, Scotland ṣiṣẹ́ náà, gbogbo nǹkan mìíràn ló wà ní Scotland, àlàáfíà wà níbẹ̀, ètò ààbò wà níbẹ̀, ilé ọ̀fẹ́ wà níbẹ̀, gbogbo nǹkan mìíràn tí ó lè jẹ́ kí ayé kí life expectancy kíyàn lè ní àlàáfíà tó gùn tó pọ̀ ó wà ní Scotland. Àmọ́ wọn náà wọ́n fi bá UK ṣe mọ́. So tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà náà ń ṣiṣẹ́, ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni pé níjọ́ kan ò ká dìde ká sọ pé a fẹ́ padà sí orílẹ̀-èdè wa gangan, a fẹ́ reclaim ẹ̀ padà. A fẹ́ reclaim ẹ̀ padà. Kò sí ṣẹ́rí kò tẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ sí ìjà níbẹ̀ pé mo ṣe máa ń sọ pé a máa gbára ìyàn kò ní ìdìjà nínú. Ó ti ń fò wá o. Àwọn ìyá òṣòròǹgà níbo ló wà mórí tó ń fò látẹ̀ àbí nǹkan tẹ́ máa ń sọ kọ́ ní ẹ̀ta Nàìjíríà. Poverty mentality ni. Ìdí ṣe wá rí àwọn tó máa ń sọ pé àwọn èèyàn gbọ́n kan tẹ́ ń sọ àlàyé èèyàn yé wọn dáadáa. Àlàyé wo ló yé yín dáadáa? Nàìjíríà tẹ́ wà nínú ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe tiwa. The WhatsApp number is +447594050979. Don't call the line yet, please. Everybody knows that. Give me all your names of the influencers on the social media. Everybody knows the history. But what people are trying to say to us is, I understand arguments and you break up away from Nigeria. But ṣe jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ tún gbé lómi wọlé náà, ká tún gbé yẹ̀wò. Bí a ká lọ try Peter Obi, ó dà pé òun ló ń trend nísìnyí. Ká tún lọ try Peter Obi. If you go on our website, you will find my number, koikimedia.com. Type in koikimedia.com, you will find my number on the top edge. Àwọn kan ní it's leadership problem. When we have the right people, they will make Nigeria work. Nigeria will work for me. It will work for us. Our unity will... There's nothing called unity because Nigeria do not have a language. Your English kúrò nínú èdè Nigeria and tell me what is left. Take off the English. Who put the English there? It's the British. The British are smart. We should be all have been using èdè tiwa for communication. I showed you yesterday how the Chinese, that particular local government, the documentary I showed you, they are using the Chinese alphabetic. Everything tá à ń ṣe ó jẹ́ kó wà lórí èdè tiwa ni. They should not be teaching us in English. It's fraud and it's still happening. And lecturers know that. Professor knows that. Everybody knows that. There's nobody that is dumb. Kò síyàn kankan tó jẹ́ dọ́là tó jẹ́ dumb ní Nàìjíríà. Nítorí pé English tí wọ́n ti coin mọ́ yẹn. Go and speak in English. So àwọn tó wà ní abúlé tó wà ní abà tó lọ sí school, it becomes difficult for them to communicate. But èdè yẹn kọ́ lè dé wa. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń pè wọ́n ní àwọn ará ìlú òkè. Kò sí kankan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìlú òkè gangan ni ilé ayé tó dá. Àwa gangan ni ọmọ aládé ní ìlú òkè. Ìlú òkè yẹn nísìnyí náà sọ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n yìnbó. Àwọn ará ìlú òkè náà ní ẹ̀gbọ́n yìnbó. No, ẹ̀yin ìyá wa ní right láti sọ pé ẹ̀gbọ́n yìnbó. nígbà tá ní kẹ́ máa pè kí ló máa ń ṣẹ̀yìn èèyàn tẹ́ gbọ́ etí ń dùn yẹn ni. Get out. àbúrò mi yìí nísìn àwọn abìnú jàre. And this is the kókó ìdí tí a ṣe ń sọ pé ká máa lọ. Ṣé rí ìwọ tó fẹ́ Haúsá, àwọn tó ń fẹ́ oríṣiríṣi, bóun ẹ̀ kò fẹ́ Ìgbò kò fẹ́ Haúsá. Mo tẹ̀ rí Dínà ní torí Àtíkù fẹ́ Ìgbò ó fẹ́ Haúsá, ṣé ó ń ṣe èrè ni? Ẹ bá ń bèèrè lọ́wọ́ Dínà pé ṣé ó ń ṣe èrè ni? Kí ni ó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú pé ó fẹ́ Ìgbò ó fẹ́ Haúsá ó fẹ́ Yorùbá òun ló lè unite àbó lórí burúkú ni? Ṣé olórí burúkú ni Dínà ni? Ṣé ó ń ṣe èrè ni? Tó bá yẹn pé ó ń ṣe èrè because òun wà ní Dubai nísìn tó ń jayé, ìwọ máa lé ọmọ Kogi state kò sí iná ládùúgbò ẹ. Ìdí ni pé wọ́n ti kó ẹ mọ́ ẹ rà tó ń pè ní Nàìjíríà. Jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ yọ Nàìjíríà kúrò, tá a bá ti yọ Nàìjíríà kúrò àlàáfíà máa dé Kogi state. You're right, Chidi Okole. Only solution is total disintegration. Nothing more than, nothing can solve this problem. Look, let them bring any politician from around the world. It cannot solve our problem. We don't hate anybody. And I'm being honest. We don't hate anybody. Look, if anybody say we hate somebody, it's just because they are angry. Literally, as human beings, you should not hate anybody. I'm not talking about from the perspective of, I didn't talk about religion now. Because if I talk about religion, some people can say religion is fraud. And you can say that. You have the right to say religion is fraud. But I'm saying from the humanity perspective, we don't have to hate anybody. But those that are controlling and taking us into this one Nigeria are the ones that hate us. What is it difficult for us to say, let all these nations be on their own, and then, if I like, I can marry 10 wives from Kogi, marry from East, marry from Hausa land. Even if I like, I go and marry Fulani. That will be your own choice. But what the agenda they are pushing now is, let us allow politicians to come and fix the problem. What problem do they want to fix? Where are they going to start from? Because from what we know, the definition again,
Nation.
A nation is a community of people formed on the basis of combination of shared, in tó bá sọ pé nǹkan shared, mo sọ fún yín pé kò ń ṣe pé I like oúnjẹ Igbo. If I go to the Igbo community and they start serving me amala and ewedu, the first thing I'm going to ask if it's a wedding, I'll say, is the bride from Yoruba land or the groom, which one of them is Yoruba? Because I would like to know why they are preparing amala and gbegiri and ewedu in an Igbo party. No, you must ask. It's either they have a relationship with the Yoruba for them to cook amala and ewedu in their party. I mean, we know rice is a common food. And the same is reverse. Not that we don't like the Igbo, but we don't have the shared features together. And this is what the reality is on ground. For those of you that are pushing for 2023, it cannot solve the problem. Don't allow Aisha Yusuf to be coming online and tell you, this, da. Don't allow the Jade Yonju. I think Reno is somewhere in Jordan with all the money he has taken from Jonathan. Serious money is with that guy. Because anybody that is in the government, especially if you have your way, you can become a billionaire. And if you are managing the money properly and invest it, is moving around just like Dino, every one of them. Government, as it is in that fraudulent contraction, has turned a lot of people. Yes, I did say our politicians understand the root of the problem. Is why are they then still pushing forward? Why can't all they face real? This is the reason, because it's an hidden agenda not to allow the nation under Nigeria to come out. That's the reason. Politicians understand all this terminology, all this explanation, but they do not want us to come out of Nigeria so that we can become a subject of slaves to them and then trample on us, put us in the bottle, and we are all fighting each other. Hey, Hausa kò ní dá fún ẹ. Yorùbá, oyin ara olòṣì, olórí burúkú, ọmọ Igbo, we are fighting each other in this bottle. When this bottle is meant to be open and fresh air goes all over the place, within 20 years of nation coming out of Nigeria, flourish will happen, development will happen. But what they've done now is lock it. As we are trying to unlock it, they're locking it back. We're trying to unlock it, they're locking it back. And that's why, you know who is doing that? The Western world. The Western world is telling you, don't listen to Koikyo, don't listen to Nnamdi Kanu, Igbowo, Akintoye, Global Directorate, YOV, don't listen to Biafra, don't listen to all these freedom fighters. They are all trying to confuse you. Politics is a game of number. Really? Are you sure? They are creating damage. And the only way is that we would release everyone from that bottle. And if we cannot open it from the top, we will destroy it from every angle. And that is why I say Nigeria is a big elephant. We will kill it anyhow so that people can escape out of that. And the moment people escape, the politicians will then run. And some of them will not even have the audacity to come back and say, we want to be part of that system again. They won't. Because this bottle must break before 2023. This bottle that they've left everybody in for 62 years, we want to open it properly so that we can all be free. But they've literally locked it, sealed it, and we are finding a route how we're going to take everybody out. And that's what we've been doing. Some have been doing it for 30 years, 20 years. But like I said, I am ready to break it, and some people will die along the line. There's no doubt about it in my mind. But we will break it. It's going to be painful. But when that break comes, the Yoruba politicians in the Southwest will go a long way to suffer for that. Because they know that Nigeria has expired. And that's all I can say. Let's go back again. A nation.
Nation.
A nation.
Nation.
A large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, language, inhabitant, a particular country or territory.
Nation.
A nation is a community of people formed on the basis of combination of shared futures, such as language, history, ethnicity, culture, territory. A nation is thus the collective identity of the Yoruba people, the collective identity of the Igbo, Biafra people, the collective identity of the Edo Ishekiri people, the collective identity of the Hausa people. Like I said, I don't have to be in Nigeria if things goes the other way around. I can live. I've lived out of Nigeria for the last 20-something years. And I think I've lived better life. I might not have everything, but I'm comfortable and I'm contented. If you all fail to allow us to break Nigeria, you will all suffer a lot until you escape by going through the aeroplane, and that means you will have to apply for a visa, and I pray you get the visa. And if you don't get the visa, you will have to go through Niger, and that means the risk of getting, you'll have to go through the back route, and the chances of that is you will get killed before you arrive to Europe. And if you arrive to Europe and get to UK, they'll send you back again to Rwanda. And for those of us that are here, we will prepare our mind to just remain the puppet as we are. If we fail to achieve it together. Some say I should come back home. The issue is not to come back home. We're not scared to come back home. But what are you yourself doing right now? Is the question. I've seen another comment. I read all the comments. I can respond and I can refuse not to respond. But what I can tell you is, I, Olayomi Koiki, can live in this country and enjoy my life to the fullest. And even if I get sick along the line, there is responsibility for this country to make sure I do not die. They will look after me. What about you? You will die because the system in that messed up country do not give you the preference to decide. And that's something a lot of you know. But we're all pretending as if it's not going to happen. The agenda now is, what is self-determination?
Self-determination.
Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? And how do we get the hell out of Nigeria? How? Àwọn kan bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé, what will be the process? Are we going to fight? Is it going to be diplomatic? Are we going to push for rally? Are we going to have civil disobedience like the Biafrans are doing? Sit at home? What and what are we going to do to achieve kí la máa ṣe to achieve this reality? Or is it just going to be an online country? Just like, people say the same thing, like the Biafra has been doing this for the last, only God knows. But the point of no return, as it is in Badagry, is getting closer. And every one of us will make that determination together, collectively, to prepare for the worst case scenario. But before that, there's one thing that you got to put at the back of your mind. The agenda of the Fulani to wipe as many of you. Not everybody will be killed. I'm not going to say and say that everybody will be killed, but a lot of you will be a victim of the agenda of the Fulanis. You'll get kidnapped. You'll be killed. You will not be able to move freely as you love to. University students have been at home for the last 5 months. Probably maybe some of you are the one telling me to come home. Your life will be miserable. You will find somebody and you want to kill them and become ritual so you can make money. Just as the 15-year-old in Ondo State has been stealing babies, giving it to her father for 30,000 naira. You will become a Yahoo person because that is the only business available. You will ride Okada, you will fall from that Okada, there will not be anybody to look after you. I received a call yesterday. The caller tried to get into the show in the morning, but the line was packed. This happened in Ondo State, and what any kí fún yín ní ìmọ̀ràn fún èyí tí ẹ bá gbọ́. When a convoy is going, not a military convoy, not a government convoy, people travel and they also have military personnel that travels with them. I'm sure you know that, especially people that are going for burial, they arrange security to go with them and all that. There was a fatal accident, and as I speak today, one person have died, one person is in coma, and I'll explain what happened. This happened somewhere in Ondo State. The driver wanted to overtake the convoy, and one of the military personnel shot into the front, not into the vehicle, but the tarmac or the soil came back into that car that was overtaking them. And right there, 2 people got hit. Straight away, one person died on the spot. And the other person is in coma. And that convoy did not wait. Mo wá bi wọ́n pé àwọn tí ó wà nínú wọ́n ní convoy ní because àwọn ẹni yẹn ló overtake wọn. And the question is, if Nigeria was working, why should you be traveling to your village with extra security? You will be a victim one day. You will cry. It will be difficult for Fulani to kill me in this country, or kidnap me, or attack me on any of the highway in this country. It will be very difficult. That means the British has compromised by allowing the terrorists to even come in this country. So, a lot of things will kill you. So you can say whether we should have
self-determination
or we remain in one Nigeria. There's a lot tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nigeria that do not come to the surface of the earth. There's a lot happening in Nigeria that people are going through that we will not even know. Maybe sometimes by chance it will just pop up on the social media. But there are millions of things that is going on. Does not mean that things are not going on across the different part of the globe. But because we are in a country that is not our own, you will get killed before I get home. I will be coming home, but you will be killed. Those of you telling me to come back home, you will be killed before I get home. That's all. Because you are being killed. You don't have access to petrol. That we are the 6th largest crude oil producer. That means you will die before I get home. You will die of hunger. You will die of the malnutrition. You will die of not having the best general hospital to look after you for minor illness. You will die. I hope you understand. You will die. And that's what you need to understand. You will die. So continue to tell me to come back home. You will die. Your family will suffer. You will cry. Nobody will be there to even give you handkerchief to clean your face. How many people remember those that died in our war? People have moved on. Terrorists are becoming more powerful in Nigeria. And you've only just seen a tiny bit. Like I said, Tebagbo voice here. Go and listen to that voice. I don't have to believe that voice. I could just say it's not going to be true. It's just making it up. But what about if it's not making it up? Ask somebody to share that voice with you. I'm not going to play the voice here. But if you have not listened to the voice, go and find the voice of the soldier that escaped. Like I said, it could be a makeup, it could be true, it could be false. I don't know, because it did not show me the video evidence. But I can tell you, based on all the issues that we have been discussing for the last 2 years, that evidence is as it is, that they are preparing something. Some are saying that we will have election, we will vote them out, we are the youth, we have the numbers. What about if the government wakes up and there's a coup? Have you thought about that? Do you know that the moment there's a coup in the country, there's no vote anymore? They'll just tell the international community that they need at least 2 years before they can give it back to the civilians. Oh, you don't know that? Do you know that the moment there's a coup, all your governors will be taken out of office, and a military administrator will automatically take over? Have you thought about that? Those of you getting PVC, are you sure there will be 2023 election? What about if they cancel the election? What about if they manipulate it? Even if you have the intention to vote for, so many of you want to vote for some particular person, what about if they rigged it? Have you think about all these permutations? Have you thought about everything that will there be 2023? Are you sure that there will be a 2023? Is Nigeria fragile or stable for 2023 to even hold, without a Yoruba nation saying it's not going to hold, or the Biafra? How many people think it's going to hold? Are you thinking what I'm thinking, or you're just assuming that, oh, we are going to go and vote in 2023? We still have how many days before 2023? I'll give you the breakdown. It's on our website, koikimedia.com, if you want to have everyday time of when I say there will be no election. On my timeline on the website, 214 days, 23 hours, 44 minutes, 58 seconds. "214 days, Nigeria at the verge of breakup, directly or indirectly." You don't have to trust and believe what I'm saying. You can just say I'm making it up. Crazy guy, look at him, he's safe for UK, no get job. This guy no get job. Every day you dey come out, you know, I know say you no get job. Yeah, boy. I agreed. I didn't come to Nigeria for 14 years after I left in 1998. And I didn't miss anything. Do you know what is 14 years? There's 365 days in a year. Multiply that for 14 years. That's what it took me before I finally returned. And when I returned, all I saw was poverty all over the place. All I saw was shit hole. Kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ìyá mi, Abi. This laptop that I'm using, she single-handedly sent it to me from a country. And I'm still using that laptop, this one. I love that woman so much. And that's it there. 214 days. A lot can happen between now and then. There's no guarantee. You can say that I'm just joking, that there is guarantee election we hold. And I agree with you, because that's your view. That's my view as well. There's the danger ahead. There's an agenda that everybody knows, but we are pretending as if that agenda is not going to happen. We have listened continuously to big people in Nigeria, lawyers, NGOs, saying that there is an agenda in this country, and that agenda, everybody is just pretending as if it's not going to happen. The agenda will happen. When it's going to happen, somebody has actually helped me to say, I was not in Nigeria for 5,110 days, and I can repeat the same thing and live a better life here. I don't miss anything. If I could not come to Nigeria for 5,000 days, so why do you think I'm in a hurry to come back if we all do not break away from Nigeria? I can still be out of Nigeria. Could cost me anything. But we are concerned because if we allow another 14 years, that agenda of this evil will be activated. Even if we allow it, you might say, Koiki, look, stop scaring us. How can this be? How can this happen? So sure, I'll say I don't know. But there is an agenda. And that agenda, we can all feel it. That agenda, some of our Yoruba people will help them activate it. That's what maybe you don't understand. Some of the Igbo people, some of the Middle Belt people, some of the Hausa people, some of the other ethnic groups are going to help them to activate that agenda. They don't give a toss about you. Because if they care about you, Ike Ikerimadu, as an example, should not be in the UK. Because he helped them along with that agenda. And that is why the Fulani man, an 82-year-old man, can fly to UK to give him a moral support. But he's not going anywhere yet because he's going out to Old Bailey, which is a criminal court. So he's still going to be in the UK for some time. Even if they find him not guilty, that will be determined by the jury. Because the next court is going now is a criminal court. They could have killed that case at the magistrate. Ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe lè kill ẹ̀ ni pé agreed, the boy is no longer a minor, but yet there's still an offense that has been committed. Does not mean that I support the British government on their own criminality that they've done on us. So I'm just giving you that some of our own people will help them activate the agenda. And that's something that a lot of you do not know. So are we going to allow that to happen? Is the question. Prevention is better than cure, like somebody say. Chidi Okoli say Islamization. Eshe Gonyawa Abe. Eshe Yami Adenike Ofi. 2023 is swinging. I can understand the media at home are more worried about how to collect money from politicians, go and help them with their campaign, let them come and talk on their channels. But that's not what I'm doing here. My job here is to break Nigeria using my own understanding of what Nigeria is. Because as far as I'm concerned, Nigeria is not for us. I'm going to switch the phone around. This Fulani conquest coming to the final lap. Some say it's not going to happen. They say we are making it up. And at least, if I'm making it up, I hope you don't wait until you become a victim. Because if you become a victim, I will make a program on you. My name is Olawumi Koiki. Maybe you're joining me for the first time, like, wow, who be this guy again? Or, hey, so many people for this Facebook or social media. We think this one they talk again. When me and they talk of Peter Obi cannot fix Nigeria. Obi knows the history of Nigeria. So all these obedience, we cannot fix Nigeria. Because there's nothing called Nigeria. It's all pranks. They've pranked us. Give us green, white, green jersey. We love the football. When we should be having Biafra Nation football team, Yoruba Nation football team. That is how it should have been. You hear the siren? They're saving lives. And they have time to get there. So I hope everybody understands. So now I've done my own. I'm going to now allow you to also, we're not going to be here for long. If all goes according to plan, I will end this show at exactly 2 o'clock. So I will only give just about 35 minutes for calling. Make it snappy. Don't stretch too much. Maximum a minute so that we can get as many people to call in. 2 o'clock. So we all have an idea what time. We are ready. Koiki Tinubu will sell us for his own interest. They've already sold us in the first place. I'm going to switch the phone for the Twitter. So I'm going to be using this phone because I know this line, people is going to start calling on it. So let me get my other phone. We only have 35 minutes. So please, when you call, I don't need the background noise. Mute. If you know the number, if not, +4474 04405917. Let me take this off today. Silent because it's late. Like I said, I can only take up to 2 o'clock. I will come out if I have to 3 days a week, 1 day a week, 2 times in a day, 5 times in a day. It doesn't make any difference to me. I can spend hours and hours talking because I have a lot that I can use to do the presentation. So if we take the calls, comes through. If not, I will still continue. But if the caller comes through, I would allow the call to come through. So before we start winding down, let's again talk quickly about Idi Kashefe law. Reasons. I'm going to speak in Yoruba and speak in English quickly. Benefit of being a Yoruba nation. Ètò ààbò tó péye. Ilé-ìwé ọ̀fẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọ wa. Ètò ìlera ọ̀fẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọ wa àti àwọn àgbà wa. Iná ìmọ́lẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́. Ọ̀nà títì tó dára. Ìlọsíwájú ọrọ̀ ajé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ètò lórí àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa. Ìtọ́jú àwọn àgbà wa. Ilé ìwòsàn tó péye. Oúnjẹ mẹ́ta lójúmọ́. Ibùgbé tó dára fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Yorùbá has been pushed to the war in Nigeria. We are no longer slaves. Ọmọ aládé ni wá. Yorùbá nation, ìlú ọgbọ́n àtòye. Jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé Yorùbá nation la fẹ́. The time is now. Reasons. Again, okay, there's a call coming through here. Let's take the call. Like I said, not more than a minute, less than a minute. I go straight to the point. I need greetings to call. I go straight to the point.
Okay, so I've been programming for a while and I'm very impressed. I really appreciate what you've been doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, so I'm in Nigeria, I'm in Lagos.
I can see
precise, that. And I see that we've been making a lot of plans and got to one by declaration, right?
Okay.
So what I just want to ask is that, yes, we are going to defend ourselves, right? We are not scared of any of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is our land. We are going to take it back.
Okay.
No matter what anybody is saying.
Yeah.
All right? We are going to take it back.
Yeah.
That is like, that's what we are living for.
Yeah.
We are not scared.
Yeah.
So, please, I just want to know if, well, maybe that's not something you can discuss online.
Well, if it's sensitive, yeah, maybe you call at the back. But I think what everybody wants to know is, how do we defend ourselves? We're going to need weapons. We're going to need. I understand these are the logic pillar people, but what I always say is, we will use anything to defend ourselves. Anything we can lay our hands on. Any necessary. It doesn't matter whatever it is. Local, manufactured, the one we will take from them. We are not going to fight them. We just want to defend ourselves. If they fight us, we will defend ourselves, and we can take whatever ammunition that they have to use and defend ourselves. And I'm sure you get the message. So come out with So if a soldier come out, look, they cannot kill every one of us in Yoruba land. Let us have that at the back of our mind. They cannot kill every one of us. They will probably kill a couple of us, and we will defend ourselves, use whatever we have, take what they have, and we will defend. I'm not going to say we're going to kill them, but we will defend ourselves.
That's all. We are not scared. You understand? We are not scared. They are killing us every day.
Yeah.
You understand? Even go outside now. It's really scary for a lot of people, right? Not even Yoruba people alone.
Everybody.
You understand? Yeah. Everybody is contraption.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we just need that, just the preparation. We continue to engage the people. We don't have to fight anybody that wants to go and do election. We don't want to fight anybody that wants to believe in APC. But we will tell them that at some point before 2023, in 214 days, there will be uncertainty in Nigeria. That's all.
Okay, good. Yeah. So one thing I would also like to add is that before the declaration, right?
Yeah.
There's still one more message I would like us to send.
Go ahead.
Right? Doesn't have to be. We have done in the international community, right?
Yeah.
That includes like the kings, the southwestern governors.
Yeah. They will be given an ample of time. They will be given an ample of information. I remember they did so if you follow the force majeure, because I was in Nigeria last year, during the force majeure exploration, and every governor had a letter that they even give them another 1 month to stop the fraudulent 1999 constitution, but they won't listen to us until there's anarchy. And when there's anarchy,
see, this letter I'm talking about, right? I understand what you mean.
No, there will be a different letter. I'm just saying that the letter issue won't be a problem. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
So we need that final letter.
I'm sure our electorate, they are doing everything possibly best. It's part of the preparation before the declaration. Thank you so much.
Help you and give you everything that you need for this.
And every single one of us. We will all get there. That's your demand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and keep the honor for me.
Amen. We appreciate every one of you, especially our youth that they've literally make life miserable for. Nobody should be scared. Let me quickly give the reasons again in English. Reasons for Yoruba to exit from Nigeria. Yoruba tribe was a nation and a country before 1914 amalgamation. Orílẹ̀-èdè ni wá káwọn aláwọ̀ funfun òyìnbó tó dé sí ilẹ̀ wa, sí abá wa, sí ibodè wa, orí omi ló gbà wá, a gbà wọ́n lálejò ni kó tó di pé wọ́n sọ wá di tí gbogbo wa fi ń sọ ara wa ní Nàìjíríà. Nigeria was forced upon us for over 108 years now. The green, white, green is all fraud. All these issues about we're Nigerians, no. It was never like that before until the British made that so. This created injustice, just as everybody knows all the time. Atrocities against who? Against even the Hausa people, against the other ethnic groups. We are not the only one facing these problems. Against the Yorubas, by who? By the same Fulanis. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Sorry, Ego.
Yeah.
I forgot to add something.
Yeah, quickly, because I have another call come through. Yeah.
So, I want to say, tí a bá declare,
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Because any relationship, let's say a relationship, boyfriend to girlfriend, to bawa. See, girlfriend and boyfriend is often girlfriend to ba family matter. See, o ko yẹ kí a mọ̀ pé nǹkan ṣẹlẹ̀, nǹkan wrong. You understand my point?
I do.
So anybody that is saying if we declare they will fight us, that is more reason for us to declare.
Okay. All right. Very good point.
Either we pick from freedom or we continue suffering. That's just it.
Thank you so much. And that's a very valid point as well. Thank you so much, my brother Ijaya General. Iso Hotel, these are all the various things that we had in the old Western region. You're right. Iyawa Falashade, thank you so much. And the rest of you, that I've spotted on all the platforms, Instagram. Flipping now, we did not start the mix LR. Oh my God. And nobody even asked us to. Okay, I can still start it for the last half an hour. I thought I did. Okay, oh, crashing me. I already started, but again. It's okay. Please correct the errors below. I'm just going to start it straight away so that we don't waste too much time. At least they can say catch up the remaining half an hour. Like I said, 2 o'clock, I will end the broadcast. Reasons for Yoruba to exit is what I'm discussing. These injustice, atrocities against Yorubas by the Fulanis, not just the Fulanis, the Yorubas, the Igbo, the Middle Beltans, and the other ethnic groups that is also endorsing this criminality, because everybody should be now saying that the total disintegration of Nigeria, but rather they are playing politics. They'll play politics like Bode George until they are old. They'll play politics as any of these other criminals that you all know, like, what's the other one again? The one that goes around, with Tinubu all over the place. All this old man, Oshoba. Oshoba that could not fix the same hospital as a governor 2 times during the military administration and as a civilian governor. They'll come here and take medical treatment. That's what they've done. All these politicians, every single one of them, you can remember their names. Doesn't matter who they are, old or present. When they come out, they still want to be involved and keep Nigeria as it is. And that is why we are saying we will not tolerate the existence of Nigeria again on us. We still demand a peaceful exit. Nothing more than that. Like I said, we continue to educate our people. Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello, brother.
Carol.
Morning, brother.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Chidebere that's calling you.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. I thank you for the good work you guys are doing.
You're
I
welcome.
love what you're doing, bro. I love what you're doing.
Thank you so
And
much.
then in Nigeria,
Okay.
like, the life you are living here is, in fact, is fucking crazy. I swear, like the way things are going over here, it's very, very bad. People are saying Peter Obi is gonna do this because he's an Igbo man. I mean, I've looked and see what is happening. There is nothing Peter Obi can do for us. I think the solution we have right now is just to dissolve. Nigeria should go down. Nothing more about
dissolve.
Nigeria going down.
Yeah, just like Soviet Union. Dissolve it and let every person, if a country wants to come out, they're not even up to 1 million, they can stand on their own. There are countries around the world that are not even up to 1 million.
Yes.
And there's no reason for us to be scared about that. I think people are scared and concerned about what should happen. You should be more worried about the 62 years of the existence of the name Nigeria that was coined on us, has created, injustice, atrocities, not on us alone. Even the Hausas. Why should the Hausa people should be living in IDP camps? In a country that is meant to be, according to what we are told, the 6th largest crude oil. So if the crude oil continues to be in one particular region, they will sell it maybe at a cheaper discount to the other, and we can fix the NNPC. Just like Nnamdi Kanu say, why is just the Lagos port alone working? Why is Port Harcourt port not working? Cross River, why? These are all injustice. So it's a deliberate act by the agenda of not the Fulanis, but with the endorsement of our own people, to make sure that every single person known as Nigerians remain in that bottle. And we will break that bottle, even if it's going to be painful. It must be broken.
Bro, I'm asking, my picture now. I'm like, the United Kingdom, like, so all this thing that is happening in Nigeria, is it that they don't know or they are not concerned?
Okay, they know. All right, that very good point you said. They know. Again, it's part of the agenda. There's an agenda You see, the territory known as Nigeria, which is not literally Nigeria, is just coined as Nigeria. Every region in that geographical expression known as Nigeria, whether it's even the North has their own advantage, just as we also have advantage and the other people, but the British do not want that country to have their own independence. It's as simple as that. That's an agenda. And if we all fail to achieve that agenda against their own wish, why would the British be telling you the only way you can study best is to come and study in United Kingdom? Why? When we should be studying in Igbo language or Biafra language, in Yoruba language, as against English. Do you know, I don't know whether you know, do you know that if I wanted to get a British passport this morning, I have to go and rewrite an English exam? I don't think some people are told you to understand what we're doing. Oyinbosians of English. I have to literally sit down for an English test before they can give you a British passport.
It's crazy. Like,
so
okay. In fact, but then what are we doing now? Like, how do we navigate so that this breakup would be?
We must continue to enlighten and engage the people. Acclamation, discussion. It will be one person that will join a broadcast that have never listened to us before. Maybe he's been watching, bra and pants somewhere or fracas somewhere. Probably sit down here for 10 seconds and like, but when the boys all make sense. Like, we're not fighting anybody, but we just want everybody to know that the first thing we must understand is the name Nigeria is coined. The person that gave us the name, I know where he's buried. He's about 2 hours away from me. So we just continue to explain to people until we get to the final straw.
Nandi Katano has been saying this for over a time. He's been on it, like, this is what we want to do. He's been saying this, and that's why they're after him. So right now, me, I live in the North, and when you associate with people, with them, when you talk about dissolving Nigeria, it's like they see you as their worst enemy. And like,
because they go see you like that now, because that's the impression, especially people in the North, they believe they own Nigeria anyway. So you tell about break up Nigeria, they can take a dagger and stab you straight away. So you better be careful if you're in the North.
Apart from this diplomatic ways of separation, then I think there should be another way for us to do this.
Well, the other way is we want it peaceful, but there's no way it's going to be peaceful. So we got to prepare our mind. Yeah, it's not going to be peaceful. Good evening, Mr. Fatai. It's not going to be peaceful. We know that. But let's say we just want a peace, so we don't want bloodshed. All right, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, then. Love you all. Thank you. Yeah. We appreciate those of you at home, your concerns. But like I said, we only have 20 minutes before the end of the program. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Koike, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Do you know one thing that usually funny to me? Any year they keep on saying one Nigeria, and we ask them to tell us, to prove it for us. Since all these days, they cannot prove it to us that this is the reason we say this is one Nigeria. They cannot prove it. They can't. And Mr. Koike, please, I just want you to do this favor for me. Can anybody use your platform if we have a lot of construction company here all over the world, maybe all the diasporans that are into construction company, that they can construct road? Can they be putting their name of their company on the platform, or all our medical personnel?
Okay, okay, right. Let me. I think what I expect us to be doing is, each one of these different professionals should start with Larry, come together under a platform. So even if they've been known as Nigerian Association of Doctors, Nurses, start pulling out and say you are now Association of Yoruba Nursing, Yoruba Carpenter, and then you can then start. If we know who you are, we can link people to you and say, join our lead. They are professionals, artisans, and it's not literally people that are professional. Everybody's professional in their field. But that's the stage we should be doing now. All these association of Nigeria is a waste of energy and time. We have a lot of work to do. Yeah,
freedom,
I know.
the building, we start the building instantly. We
Yeah.
start building our nation.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah, well, that's all right. No problem. Thank you so much. That's the expectation. Excuse me. That's the expectation that we want, which we are now calling the implementation stage. Even in Taiwan as well, can be doing the same thing. Excuse me. I hope you understand. So not literally into abroad, in Taiwan as well. All these associations of Nigeria. Just forget that. There's nothing called association of Nigeria. You can create your own. Me as an Igbo man can create a country for Europeans, but they created our countries for us in Africa. And we got to stop that. And we will stop it, but we will continue to. People say they are not hearing all over the country, Koiki, Eshe, but let the message filter. Go and support Dr. Leo with his audio that they want to produce. They need about 1 million copies of that. Seriously. We need millions of flags, souvenirs, everything that we can distribute for free for our people. I'm not talking about food. I know people want food, but I don't know how we're going to do that. But in terms of creating awareness can be created with a lot of things. But our people at home expect us to do that for them. And I expect, thank you so much, Daddy Pie. I just saw your message right now. And let me try and read that out. And you did say, when the wristwatch balance will stop, the significance is faultless. Nigeria balance will at long time stop working. It is time to throw it away and fetch a new one. That's a big man proverb. You don't know the damage that Nigeria has done to so many individuals, people, and families. We were working to fix Nigeria, but the agenda of the Fulanis was different. So if anybody is still thinking that you want to fix Nigeria, okay, now let's come back to your own level. On which constitution? On the fraudulent constitution that everybody knows. I'm just about 15 minutes away before the end of my program this morning, but we have one more caller from here. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Welcome on board.
Just a little quick reminder, vice presidential candidate, there was this audio don't leak a couple of years back. Former governor vice president.
He's the leader of the Boko Haram, I know. And it was the governor when they kidnapped the Chibok girls in 2014.
Exactly.
Shetima is part of the Boko Haram. It's the whole agenda.
Yeah. I think they should ask themselves a question. Kí ni result tó ti rí nínú gbogbo investigation àti gbogbo audio tó leak nígbà yẹn? Is that anybody to clarify or something? But problem when we don't believe in no election in Nigeria. Problem is a Stockholm syndrome. Once you believe our Messiah without them nothing can be done. So awareness here is the only way.
Okay.
Continue like do am so far everybody must go in every way. More expected pé káwa Yorùbá náà ká ti máa trend dára lórí Twitter, but àwọn ìgbà míì tí bá wo àwọn tó bá fẹ́ share anything tẹ́ bá post a lè jẹ́ bóyá bí 20 in total nígbà míì within the span of like 12 hours or this thing. Nǹkan tó lè yẹ kí gbogbo everybody wà lórí Twitter, because gbogbo àwọn top country everybody ń sọ yìí gbogbo wọn lọ ní Twitter handle started ní àwọn èèyàn tó monitor it, so they will see this in a form of protest. Okay, kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ our youth Yorùbá nation at everybody kò jẹ́ ṣe our youth nìkan, everybody kí gbogbo aka lọ sí okay o afẹ́ fi Friday, Saturday, Sunday afẹ́ ṣe Twitter protest. Kí gbogbo àkàwá lọ síbẹ̀ ká lọ ṣe Twitter protest. Káwá wò bí Yorùbá nation ní wà ní #1 trending all around the world. Àwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ láwọn èèyàn púpọ̀ tó máa ń wo kí ló tiẹ̀ ń trend lénìí. They just want to know what is trending. Tó bá rí pé Yorùbá nation ló trend, kó click link kan, kó kí fídíò jáde, kó dẹ̀ máa wo bí everybody ń ṣe protest ní London, ní Èkólé, ní New York, ní everywhere. Everybody ṣe protest. Àwọn èèyàn máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pick one or two things. Okay, let's start finding more information about it. So awareness, there's millions of ways they only push awareness. That's just my own suggestion because everybody ló ní phone lọ́wọ́. Anybody tí ò dẹ̀ bá ní phone, àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà gan, they still go on Twitter. Pẹ̀lú little gigabytes tó ní, they still have access to go on that Twitter. Everybody, the journalist or someone gan, anything you see, don't pa ọmọ Yorùbá mi lára, record it and post it up on Twitter and tag everybody to it.
All right. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank
you. As we're just about 12 minutes, let's try and manage. I only have 3 calls, and those are the ones I'm going to deal with. So I'm going to go with the first one, and then we have 2 more. And those are the 2. Any other calls, we're not going to take calls anymore. So I'm just returning the 2. You only have about a minute plus. Hello, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. We had the video online. One grant in BBC in America.
Okay, Okay.
I want them to know Nigeria, whatever is going on in Nigeria, it's not our priority. Okay.
It's not a new video, but we've seen that video. Yes, the guy was saying whatever is happening in Nigeria is not our priority. I'm not going to take this call because I think the call TOT will line up already. Let me take Kingsley. I don't know. Okay, I need to verify my account on Instagram. I don't know what happened there. Maybe somebody was trying to also log in. So they've actually locked it. So I have to unlock it. All right, Kingsley, go ahead. You got a minute plus.
Thank you, my brother. My name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Morocco.
Go ahead.
My dear brother, I see your effort, not sleeping, including for those that are watching. They are not sleeping. We will reach there. My brother, what I want to tell both of you and the Kuche attack is not ordinary.
Okay.
My dear brother, I was there for 4 years and 8 months. The entrance of that place, people passed their arm on front of DSS, Nigeria. I'm telling you, any person that is clamoring that these people will hand over the power coming to the person, that person is coming inside. My dear brother, there is no means. There is no means. These people will escape because this plan have already been planned, waiting. So the only now I'm advising our people is to do what I did the same thing that happened to Sri Lanka, because there is no other means. These people have already been prepared. And if you see how this Abuja is in, all of the armed terrorists have been surrendered that capital. No single place. Both the Kuche, all the conspiracy that are living in that Abuja, they are compromised. And they can ready fight more. So I don't know, because the Kuche attack is even worse than somebody to attack after all. You know that if you are a good security analyst, you know that there's no hope for that country. Even though our people our Biafran people that are talking of Mazin Nandekalo, are they going to tell Mazin Nandekalo in Nigeria and send him back to London prison? Because see, I don't think there is a place that is safe that this guy can, including that their hands, I'm telling you, in this packet, make sure that they put their mind. So my brother, we need to do something to prevent life.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. That's Kingsley. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's Kingsley, our Biafra brother. And I'm going to take the last caller. These are the 3 calls that have been lined up before I say no more call. Then we're going to close the broadcast in 7 minutes. So we only have just 7 minutes. You have a minute plus.
Hey, Baba.
Go ahead.
Baba,
yes.
Yeah.
Etonia.
What the big professor found when you need be Sherry Gessy. One more to show. And you by the con lighty, can you are lighty? Come my wisdom. On commenta, no fibrillation, Naja. Nígbà tó dàbí yẹn lẹ̀. Alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ignorance. Wọ́n fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ tó ń lọ. They don't know what is going on. They don't want to know. And then fear.
Yeah.
But àwọn èèyàn ti wọ́n ti fi ìbẹ̀rù sínú àwọn èèyàn.
Too much.
And it's part of the grand design. Mo ṣe design rẹ̀. Ìkẹta ni military terrorism tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sìn yìí. Because ibi tí yọ̀pọ̀ yọrin kí ọ̀zọ́ ẹni tí ò bá rójú tí ò ráyè. Kò sí bí èèyàn ṣe máa ṣe kínní. Meanwhile, treaty tí Aláàfin sign pẹ̀lú wọn was before the amalgamation. It was Treaty of Friendship ní July 1887. Aláàfin Ọ̀yọ́ gba ìṣàkọọ́lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Títí dé gbogbo Èkó, títí dé gbogbo Port Èkó. Aláàfin was collecting. So, tá a bá sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé Yorùbá á ti wà tipẹ́ as far back as between 1860 and 1890, trade tí Gẹ̀ẹ́sì ń ṣe pẹ̀lú Yorùbá country náà bó ṣe address on Ìjẹ̀bú country, Ẹ̀gbá country, Ọ̀yọ́ kingdom. So they address each of those, region as countries. Now, gbogbo àwọn èmi ní ẹ̀pà, kòkó, ìrè oko, Yorùbá export lọ sí West Africa, lọ sí Brazil, lọ sí Germany, lọ káàkiri. Ṣé wàá mọ nǹkan tó ṣe? Wọ́n wá dá báǹkì lẹ̀ ní 1890 something. Báǹkì yẹn wà ní Threadneedle Street. Sorry, the Bank of England wà. £2 million wọ́n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ báǹkì yẹn ní owó Yorùbá dẹ̀ owó trade Yorùbá. As far back as kó tó di pọ́ńtà Nàìjíríà in 1940 amalgamation lẹ̀ wá sọ fún mi pé wọ́n Nàìjíríà kan pé kinní kan. A fẹ́ gba ẹ̀tọ́ wa padà ni. A máa gba ẹ̀tọ́ torí pé orílẹ̀-èdè ni wá ká tó fọ́ọ̀mù Nàìjà. So káwọn èèyàn láti ẹni tí ò bá gbọ́n sí kó tètè máa gbọ́ pé láti ìgbà ìwáṣẹ̀ ni Yorùbá ti dúró and Britain dey recognize her as country and treaty tó sàn pẹ̀lú Aláàfin is Treaty of Friendship and Peace. Kì í ṣe treaty láti mú alẹ́rù ọkọ̀ afúnfúnlá ẹ̀ máa bí tó lọ.
I see, Gani. As we say, thank you so much this morning. I'd like us to appreciate all the different organizations. I'm not sure what happened. I wish I can take any more calls. Like I said, I don't want to go beyond 2 o'clock so that I can have an ample rest of time to sleep. There will be overtime. Like I said, this topic of this conversation is what I'm going to focus on for the next 20 days or 10 days so that Ali gets it to our people that we are reclaiming back what belongs to us. I appreciate Ilana United Kingdom. If you want to become their member, get in touch with Bashigun, who is the leader of the group, or you can reach out to me and I will give you their details. It is important that we cannot sit behind the fence and say, oh, they are doing it. Who is doing it? Everybody must be involved. Let's get involved now. The intellectuals, the artisan, the layman, Alaja, Alaji, Reverend, Bishop, students. Don't sit behind and say some people are doing it. Doing what? We all have to be involved. I'm just playing my own role, and we need as many people to play different roles. And we all have different skills that will be needed for this movement. Like I said, we're not taking any more calls. Today is the 11th now, on the 7th of 2022, 157 is just for my record purpose. Because in the next 100 years, people will play this video in their homes. They will cry that this is what people fought for them to be enjoying. Just as we are all enjoying, especially those of us outside Nigeria today. Some people fought for it. Oxford Street was blown so many times. If you go there today, you will not even know that that place was destroyed by bombs. So I'm going to read my normal, that I've prepared, that I will use for the next few days, that I'm going to be focusing on. Like I said, my outfit will change, the date will change, but the message will be the same in different ways that I'll put it. I appreciate everyone that have joined me tonight. We must not allow any countries or NGOs or international bodies like EU, ECOWAS, etc., as you can remember, as many of them, to tell us about going for election come 2023. We must tell them we want to stand on our own as a nation that has been before, based on our history. We want to claim our self-determination as an existing nation before United Nations was even established in June 26, 1945. No international bodies have any right to determine how and what we want as an indigenous Yoruba people. All we are doing is going back to how we are before United Kingdom came to remove us from who we are as Yoruba Kingdom or Yoruba Nation, whatever you want to call it. Or like my brothers say, Ijebu Kingdom, Ogun Kingdom, or your kingdom. And at this point, no Yoruba should be scared at this stage, because we have the legitimate right to self-determination. I repeat that again. No Yoruba should be scared at this stage, because we have the legitimate right to self-determination. So recognition is what each of these institutions must respect. Diplomats in Nigeria must not make any decisions on all the citizens of we, the indigenous people, on what we want. We, the indigenous people of Yorubas, want to reclaim back our birthright as Yoruba Kingdom, Yoruba Nation, Oduduwa Republic, before the British government came to change who we are. We all have our own different ethnic groups. A lot of things that is happening in Nigeria, they're trying to finalize this on a documentation and present it to the international community, that we have validated every one of us to remain in one Nigeria, like the waterways and so many other atrocities that they are putting together. Why is Hausa now a major language in Nigeria? Ask yourself those questions. If you don't pretend to be an Hausa, you do not get a job, you do not get to university. You pretend that you're Hausa even though you are not. We will not and have never given our land away, so all the international community must know that. None of us have signed any treaty. So if all the politicians from the Southwest are working with the hidden agenda to keep us in one Nigeria, we are not involved in that. We are not a new nation. We are reclaiming our nation back. When you remove English language from what conversation in Nigeria today, that means no country exists in that geographical location. And on that note, I say thank you so much. My name is Olamiko Iki. Ora Yola Masun. Bye for now.